What up, lads? My name is John. This is Across the Board, and I am going to do a pre-combine NFL mock draft. Typically, with NFL drafts, everything changes after the combine, and I don't think that as much should change as it typically does. So I'm interested to see what my mock draft looks like before the combine, and then what it looks like after the combine. Because for sure, some things will change. Some things on the combine are important. Some things are a little overrated. So let's get into the first one. So I'm doing this on the Draft Network. There's a lot of great writers on the Draft Network, so I think that you all should check out those writers. But let's get right into doing this mock draft. So we're going to do the predictive board, just one round manual because I'm drafting for every team. I'm going to do it as how I think that they will actually draft. I may do another one on how I would draft, and we may do one as a podcast, Casey and Colton as well. Kind of everyone gets a certain amount of teams, like everyone gets 10 teams, and we do it that way. I think that would be fun as well. But let's do the first pre-combine draft here. I've done mock drafts for, I think, since 2012, 2011. I've done them. I'm 23 now, so however old I was in 2011, I was like, I don't know, I was like 17 or no, oh Jesus, I've done that way beforehand. I think I started doing mock drafts. It was probably like 2006. I was like 10. I was doing. I can't even remember the podcast network that I was doing stuff off. I think it was Spreaker or something. I was doing mock drafts back when I was like 10. So I've written some mock drafts of myself. If you can look up John Pearson, look up my Our Sports Report stuff. I did a draft and I was super high on a few years ago where Pat Mahomes was my guy, and I was laughed at on Twitter and different, just talking all over, doing podcasts and stuff. And everyone thought it was hilarious. I was super high on Pat Mahomes, and fuck you guys now. So let's do the 2020 mock draft. And the first one here, Cincinnati Bengals, is Joe Burrow. It's not even close. It's obviously Joe Burrow. There's talks of, hey, maybe the Bengals will trade out and get a haul for Joe Burrow, which I can understand. I'll talk about some other players I'm very, very high on. But I wasn't as high on Joe before the season happened, but then he had one of the most incredible college football seasons of all time, and I think that you have to reward that, and you have to look at that, and you have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself. It was phenomenal. I don't know what else to say. He was amazing. Second, I'm an Ohio State Buckeye. I go to Ohio State. If you guys don't know, this is Ohio State Buckeye. He's also the best player in this draft, Chase Young. He's the guy that I'm the highest on. Okay, so at 3 now we go the Detroit Lions, and this is where certainly they could trade out. As Draft Network has, the linebacker, cornerback, and edge rusher are their 3 biggest needs. They're talking about getting rid of Darius Slay, trading Darius Slay, who is a phenomenal cornerback. One of the best for the last 5 years, for sure. I think I am going to pick Jeffrey Okudah. It's so hard to have a shutdown corner that plays a ton of man. The Detroit Lions love to play man coverage, which is, I don't know if they're getting rid of Darius Slay because they think that they can just roll with one cornerback, which would be Okudah, and they can get a haul for Slay maybe. I don't know how much they will. I mean, he is getting up there in age. I think that it would be much better to pair Slay and Okudah together. Personally, I'm super high on Tua, but it seems like Detroit Lions fans do not want to, and they want to keep rolling with Matthew Stafford. I don't know if Stafford at, 31, 32, whatever he is right now, coming off of a broken back, if he can do it, but I do think that Matthew Stafford is underrated. So I think that Detroit's going to give Matthew Stafford maybe a few more years, maybe a year or two, to see what he can do with this team. Now, this is the trade spot right here. The New York Giants drafting here. Certainly, if I'm the Giants to trade out, because there's so many tackles in this draft and they can get one at a later spot, I think this is certainly where someone trades to get Tua, if someone hadn't already traded at 3 to get Tua. But it's either Jedrick Willis, well, really the combine is big for me for this one to see who's the best tackle of the combine. I haven't done as much research as I typically do at this point. I'll have the research done. I'll have my breakdown of probably like top 100 to 200 players or so. I'm going to go Jedrick Willis right now. It's either between Jedrick Willis, Derrick Brown, Isaiah Simmons, or another offensive tackle. I'm super high on Jerry Jeudy, but I know that a lot of people aren't, and this is a deep wide receiver class. I don't think the Giants will go there. Right here, number 5, Tua. Absolutely. Have to. There's going to be a lot of teams, if Tua starts to fall, that are really going to regret it. At number 6, I do think the Chargers are going to be looking at a quarterback. I think that they will probably start Tyrod Taylor at the beginning and bring in Justin Herbert at some point into this season. At number 7, it's really hard here. Really hard here. Isaiah Simmons or Derrick Brown. I'm going to go Isaiah Simmons. That one's tough. That one's really a toss-up here. This one's also a toss-up for me, as I think that the Cardinals really need a line, and they also need a wide receiver, and Jerry Jeudy would be terrific right here. But I think with having the likes of Kyler Murray and him having to run for his life and getting hit a ton last season, I'm going to go beef up that line. I'm going to go Tristan Wirfs. I've heard more about Tristan Wirfs, and that's the reason why I will go with him. And then number 9, I know it's down here at number 4 is the need for Jerry Jeudy, but Judy's awesome. And I think that I think that maybe the combine changes people's perspective on Jeudy. I have Jeudy over Lamb, personally. I think that Judy's one of the best prospects in this entire draft, and I think that 9 is an absolute steal for the Jacksonville Jaguars. At number 10, I'm going to go Mekhi Becton. No, I'm actually not. I'm going to go Andrew Thomas here because they really need a left tackle. I think Chris Hubbard is their left tackle right now. That's bad. That's not a good starting left tackle. He was a tackle for the Steelers, and he wasn't very good, and we let him go, and then the Browns paid him a ton, so I don't know what was going on there in Cleveland. This one's tough at 11. I would probably look at wide receiver here, but I've talked to a lot of Jets fans on the Reddit, and they are not thrilled about a wide receiver right here. Plus, Jerry Jeudy's already taken, so I'm going to go Mekhi Becton. Jesus, Derrick Brown is falling right now. It's insane. I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb right here. The Raiders need a wide receiver. I think that makes the most sense. This is a fun spot. The Indianapolis Colts. I think if the Colts wait till the second round, they may not get Jordan Love. So do they pull the trigger? This is probably they trade back down a little bit, but Tampa Bay is up next, and they could go Jordan Love right here. So I am going to go Jordan Love right here, and it's insane. Derrick Brown falls all the way to 14 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's too good of a player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers not to draft him right there. I'm going to go Henry Ruggs right here. Denver certainly needs a wide receiver. And then Javon Chason or AJ Epinesa. I've talked to Falcons fans who were really high on Epinesa. Javon Kinlaw's still there, which is absolutely insane as well. I'm gonna go Chason. I'm gonna go Chason here. This is really between Christian Fulton or Javon Kinlaw. I think Kinlaw is going to kill it at the combine. Maybe if Fulton kills it at the combine, this is where the Cowboys make their decision. But I'm going to go Kinlaw right here, and then AJ Epinesa goes right to Miami, and we're going to go Christian Fulton right there to Oakland or Las Vegas now. That's going to be weird. Okay, C.J. Henderson. Let me look at the other quarterback still here. Oh, wow. Oof. Okay. I think I'm going to go Kenneth Murray here. And then as much as I want to give a cornerback to the Eagles, I'm actually going to go wide receiver here and go Shenault. And then, where do we go right here? Where do we go? I'm going to go wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. I still think that they need a receiver. I'm going to go, I really like Justin Jeffrey, but I think I'm going to go T. Higgins. And then the Patriots could really go in a ton of different ways. We'll see where Tom goes. This will be interesting. I think Tom stays. I'm thinking offensive tackle or tight end here. So let me just go ahead and I think they're probably going to trade down. I think that they would trade down here. Josh Jones is interesting. Yeah, I think it's Josh Jones here, actually. I can't believe he fell that much. Interior line or wide receiver. I've heard a lot about Cesar Ruiz in the last few weeks. I think his draft stock is going up. He's a very good player from Michigan. I'm going to go there for New Orleans. And then now we go corner right here. It feels like the Vikings are always drafting interior linemen, so I'm not going to go first round interior lineman for the Vikings. I'm going to go C.J. Henderson right here. Oh, man, this would have been the perfect spot for Josh Jones. It would have been absolutely perfect for them. Sorry, Dolphins fans. I'm sure that you guys have probably seen that mocked a ton. And do I want to go running back? Would the Dolphins be upset with a running back here? I think J.K. Dobbins is the best running back in this one. I'll just be completely transparent. Dobbins is the best back. So this is tough for me. Do I go with the predictive board? Do I just go on my own stuff? I mean, I did say that this is what I think they will do, not what I would do. Xavier McKinney. Grant Dupree. Grant. Oof. I don't think the offensive tackle is there. So I am going to go. I'm going to go Xavier McKinney. I don't feel great about that one. Seattle. I'm going to go Gross right here because I'm contemplating wide receiver, but they did just draft DK Metcalf, and Metcalf was on fire, and now I'm in a similar boat right here. Do I give the Baltimore Ravens a wide receiver when they just drafted a wide receiver? But really, they only have one wide receiver, and then they have Mark Andrews that can really help out. Or do I go Patrick Queen? Patrick Queen or Justin Jefferson? That's the dilemma I'm going to go with, but I'm going to go with Patrick Queen right here. The Tennessee Titans are one of the most difficult teams to draft, in my opinion. Like, when I've done these, I don't know how much of a glaring weakness that they have for anything. I guess this is one that I probably should have talked to the Redditors about seeing. I do that a lot. I talk to a lot of Reddit, the subreddits of each NFL team, NBA teams, and I just kind of get a feel of what each fan base is talking about, what they want. Because I think that, as much as I can be watching the games and I can do my own research on stuff, it's nice to know the other team's opinion because they're the most passionate and they're the ones that are watching game in and game out. I mean, if I was listening to somebody talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers or Liverpool or the Philadelphia 76ers, I would kind of want them to be talking as a fan almost of each team. And the only way I can do that is if I go and reach out to the fans. Ruiz would have been really good here. Look, this mock draft isn't perfect. I understand that. I mean, they have Terrell Lewis right here, 4-star, coming out of high school. Again, definitely check out the writers because the writers are great for that. I follow almost all of them on Twitter. They're really, really good. Really great insight. Raekwon Davis dropping far. I'm going to change from the predictor board to the player ranking, see if that changes my thoughts any. Grant is so far down there. He's going to go to San Fran or KC. I know it right here. This one's tough. So look back at the interior lineman. Lloyd Christenberry. I'm going to go with... Oh, Zach Bond's still there. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go Zach right here, actually. And then they could use some offensive help, but Jalen Reagor, very, very good. I'm going to go Justin Jefferson. I'm high on Justin Jefferson just from a few games I saw from him. Before I really go and study the tape, I'm going to go Grant right here. And then this one is interesting. Do I go DeAndre Swift? Do I go J.K. Dobbins? You know what? I'm going to go with one pick that's not necessarily what I think, but I think that maybe after the combine, they're going to go J.K. Dobbins. So I'm going to give the Kansas City Chiefs J.K. Dobbins. I know that a lot of people are not big fans of running backs going in the first round, but right at the end, I think it's appropriate. Damon Williams is great, but I think that J.K. Dobbins could actually be something really special in the NFL. So that's my mock draft. You guys can absolutely ridicule that draft if you want. I don't even completely love it. So if that makes you guys feel any better, I think that there's a few spots where guys just fell, and I feel the need to go best player available sometimes. I mean, the likes of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the likes of the Baltimore Ravens, those type of teams do that, and you know they're in the playoffs every year. So sometimes you do have to go do that, and I do think a few teams will. Obviously, there's going to be trades. I mean, all these mock drafts are not all of that accurate because they don't do trades. So we will be doing trades as well. I just wanted to get one to see the insight of what I had before the combine and then after the combine, which I think that a lot of stuff will change. It'll be interesting if only like a few picks change. So that's that. Comment down below your favorite team and who you guys would like to see picked. My personal favorite team is Pittsburgh Steelers, and I would like to see us pick in the first round Minkah Fitzpatrick. Oh wait, we already have him and he's phenomenal. But if I could take a second round pick, it would probably be Thad Moss. So that's what I'm looking at in the draft. Or if we could go ahead and get Jordan Love, that would be great because I'm really high on Jordan Love. He's one of the guys that I'm really high on. So yeah, I will definitely do a almost immediate after the combine. I'll probably do some combine content on here, but then after the combine mock draft, and then go more into getting into my draft bag as I will in the next few weeks, as I usually do, and really get into the guys that I love and the guys that I'm really not high on. But that's that. I can give you a few of them already. Super high on Chase Young, super high on Jeffrey Okudah, super high on Joe Burrow, super high on Tua Tagovailoa, super high on Jerry Jeudy, super high on Jordan Love. I really like Javon Kinlaw, and I like Shenault. Those are some of the guys that right now I'm really high on without going in crazy amount of looking up tape, because I don't have to be one of those guys that do that yet. So that's that. That's the draft. So check out the next video where I will likely be doing the post-combine in a few days. So thank you guys for watching. Deuce.